My work covers kind of broad sweep of the 20th century from just after the First World War through to it was originally the late 60s, but now I'm kind of trying to extend the frame up to the early 2000s. But I'm trying to focus a bit more on that post-war period, because I think that is really where some of these issues become the most kind of intense in the context of decolonisation, but also Commonwealth immigration after the Second World War. So at the minute, I'm trying to sort of revise the history of the British white supremacist movement, to think about how it fits into kind of Britain's broader history. In particular, trying to look through the lens of the Black British experience. So I think that one thing that's very often missed out of histories of the British white supremacist movement, so groups like the National Front or the BNP, is actually kind of that most of their impact in Britain didn't come through the ballot box. They're very bad at winning elections, thankfully. Most of their impact came through the way they kind of terrorised Black and Asian Britons. And I think kind of looking through that lens, that kind of neglected perspective, casts a new light on kind of political extremism, but also broader politics of race in Britain in the 20th century. I'm interested in building up kind of a centre of Black British history at Durham, and kind of using the university's position in the North East to think about the Black British experience beyond London, and kind of no longer just solely or mainly through London. And within that, kind of thinking about ways to kind of make links between Durham and places like the Black Cultural Archives in Brixton, who are kind of digitising more and more material, partly because of the pandemic, but also partly because that's just the direction in which things move. But also kind of within the department, trying to think about how to kind of change the way the department teaches British history, to kind of make it more kind of outward looking, and kind of bring in those kind of transnational imperial connections, to think about the ways in which Britain is, because of the kind of history and legacy of its empire, linked to all these histories beyond the borders of Britain in terms of both the politics of race, but culture and lots of different things. And then using that to think about the ways in which British history is also connected to other histories of maybe parts of the global south, of Africa, of Asia, partly because of the empire, but also because of other things, and to just kind of to make a bigger and more open British history that's kind of critically aware and engaged with these kind of transnational and imperial and post-imperial, post-colonial kind of interconnections.